Today we're learning how to make this nice 10-step overview in PowerPoint with linked slides, which means if you click on the first hexagon, it takes you to the first slide. If you click on number 6, it takes you to number 6. And you can always click on the home button again to go to the next slide. And you can really customize your own way of navigating through the PowerPoint slides. Let's start from a blank slide and we're going to add a gradient. So right click, format background, and then we're going to add a gradient fill. For this type of slide, we want to add the radial. So we create the center in the middle and we choose the option with the circle or from center. For the lightest stop, we want to add a blue tint, a light blue tint. And for the dark stop or the outside, we want to go for a darker blue. We want to put both sliders a little bit away from the edge, because if we put them all the way, it's going to be very bright. But if we just nudge them over a little bit, it's going to look a lot more natural and calming. Next, we want to add a shape and we're going for the hexagon shapes. Hold shift while you drag it to create them evenly or to increase the size evenly. Rotate 90 degrees. We're going to remove the outline. And for the shape, we're going for a white fill. So we're going for a full white fill. Position it at the top. And now we're going to add a text box. So text box and type in 01. For the font, we're going this time for Montserrat and we're going for the sub font bold. We're choosing a color which is light blue so that it kind of looks like it blends in with the background. And let's increase the font size to about 25. Center it in the middle, maybe a little bit bigger. I think 30 would be good here. 30 looks nice. Hold Control Shift to create a copy, and then we're going to reduce the font size for some dummy text. Let's type in some dummy text. This can be your title. We're going for Montserrat extra light and font size maybe about 10. Increase it a little bit so it spaces out evenly. And then once you're happy with your design, then we can start to duplicate. So we're going to position it a little bit more to the left. Hold Control Shift while you select all three and just drag it to the side. Do that once more, release, and then we're going to create another copy. So select all three, drag them downwards, and then we're going to position them so they match nicely below. Select the top three again, drag them down, and then we need one more to create the 10. There we have it. Next, we want to change the numbers. 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09. I'm adding the 0 because then if we're going for 10, it looks quite nice and everything looks evenly balanced. You can select them all. You can right click, group them together, and then arrange, align to center, and align to middle, and this way you have everything centered nicely. You can increase or decrease the size if you want, and then position it until you like the style of your slide. This looks about right. Right click, ungroup again, so we have all separate images. Next, we're going to create a new slide, remove the text, right click, format background, gradient fill, and this is going to be our first content slides or our first chapter. Let's add a text box, 01, Montserrat. We're going to make it extra bold this time, make it white, increase the font size to, let's try 45, center it a little bit bigger, 60 will be good. Center it in the middle of your slide. Let's make also a subtitle, which is going to be, let's try semi-bold, reduce the font size, and let's call this first chapter so we can clearly see the different chapters in the next step. Maybe let's reduce that bold and go for something regular. That looks quite good. Now we're going to add a dummy text below it so it represents a clean slide. Reduce that font size, select everything, arrange, align to center, and then position it in the middle of your slide. So you can group them together, align align to center, and that way you know everything's perfectly in the middle. Ungroup again. And that looks about right. Now we're going to create a few extra slides. So let's also create slide number 2, call this second chapter. And to make it clearly visible, let's change the content a little bit. Let's make some paragraph outlines and then create 2 columns for the second slide. Duplicate once more, create 3. Third chapter. Let's create 3 columns this time. There we go, then it's easily to see that it's the third one. Right click, duplicate 4th time, 4th chapter, 04, and add a 4th chapter. There we have it. And let's maybe do also a 5th one. Then we can try 5 different ones. And here let's just use the first one again. I'm going to try this with 5 chapters. Of course, you can easily add it up to 10 if you want, but the process is all the same. Let's go back to the first slide, select the first hexagon, we go to the Insert tab, and we're going for Link. And here we can link anything to that first hexagon. In our case, we want to go for slides, and then the first one is slide number 2, so we select slide number 2. For the second one, we go to Link, and we want to link it to chapter number 2, which is slide 3, so we link that to slide 3. For the third one, we do the same, we link it to chapter number 3, which is slide 4, and then 4 is going to become slide 5, and then 5 is going to become slide 6. And there we have it. Which means if you click on this, you will automatically go to that slide. Now, of course, you also want to go back to the home slide. So we're going to add an icon, and let's go for a house, because that represents the home. Reduce the size a little bit, make it white, and let's position this at the bottom of the slide. Select the house, go to Insert, Link, and we want this to go to the first slide, which is our home slide. You could also select slide number 1, but the first slide makes sense in this case. And then we want to copy this to the different slides. And as you can see, even if I paste it on the second slide, the link will still apply and be valid. So we can just copy this onto the other slides, 4 and 5. And now let's have a look at the presentation mode. Now we're in the presentation mode. And if we hover over the first hexagon, we can see the cursor changes to a pointing or a finger. If we click on number 1, it will go to number 1. If we then click on the home, we'll go back. Let's say we want to go straight to number 4. We click on number 4, and this takes us to the 4th chapter. Home again, 3. And this way we can navigate through the presentation on our own pace with whatever order that we want. You can also go to the first page and use the next slide. So if I click this button here, it goes to chapter number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, and eventually 5. And you could always go back to the start again. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next video.